Ati 4 year mama akwa papa daily update TV ne so na message na da oba channel iso anu ahete adoma no subscribe se me drop any latest bia obaje brand wonya bi atie wo channel iso na me bora ensem ni ma atie for the latest news ne so asa abebom no ni nyina ye the 4 MPs na out of the 9 na Jemensa kwa prepare no ho e declare wo mo se omu nyina awi na NPP for no say no per the source of information Parliament cannot accept them. Yes, Parliament cannot accept them or register them. E wo chamber ho. Na omo che say the Supreme Court beka no enu na speaker otie. Yes, enu na say otie because e be ato omo pen. Mo beka ya afenyo markets. Say ya parliament issues say ya na odoko dan Supreme Court. Emma ekowie che Supreme Court so make your verdict e ba bonten a necessary abamba ben eti Supreme Court. Enti say ya so na ekono enchia the Supreme Court aka no eno aso na abamba ben onu so edi so na yemongrem na yentie nsem ne bi ye ba de ka ho no. The
dawn of January 6th to January 7th. Does this ruling negate the entire gazetted results?
Not the entire.
Or the NDC, in fact, there has to be a court order to us to effectively negate the results that have been gazetted?
You see...
No.
Okay. Yeah, so with what has happened with the Supreme Court order, it means that the EC has to do a new gazette, amending, or in effect, withdrawing the names of those 4.
Martin because allowed me. From where he has started. Let me come in before Martin will conclude it.
Lawyer,
give me 1 minute. Let him. I don't know what, maybe it's possible there's something I'm not seeing.
Give me 1 minute. What the Supreme Court has said, and this is for the purpose of learning.
Okay.
In fact, sometimes when you go to court and you don't exhaust your reliefs, sometimes this is what will happen.
Right.
You get a ruling that will be hanging.
Okay.
I'm sharing experience.
Okay.
Going to court, consequential orders are always very important. So if I was part of the team, I would say that the nullification of this alone wasn't conclusive as a relief to you. So you will ask the Supreme Court, pursuant to my intended relief, then continue to ask EC to maybe annul the gazetting, because technically the Supreme Court is saying go back to status quo. So go back to status quo means that those gazettes cannot exist.
So effectively, that's
my understanding.
Yeah.
I see.
And so Supreme Court pushes us into the confusion again. Some people will say the gazetting having been done, they are still gazetted. As you were saying, that people are registering. Others will say go back to status quo means that this gazetting is unconsequential.
Right.
So what I'm saying is that a lawyer in the court, you ask your father what your father should give you. If you ask for half, you are given half. Then you slip into confusion. So go forward and say, because of what I'm praying for, if you give me, then do A, B, C, D, so that your ruling will have effect of sending us to status quo ante.
Okay, so let's come to this. Yeah, so simple and short. So simple and short, from what lawyer Apia Kubi is saying, he accepts that once those results have been quashed, it means that they are not...
This is my opinion.
Yeah, you accept that those results, the 4 constituencies, have been quashed. So... no, the court, you accept that the Supreme Court said those...
You're an officer of the court.
That is what I believe.
Yes, it's been quashed. So this matter of a consequential order not having been made cannot prevent the EC from amending the coming out with a new gazette,
but
right?
It makes it clearer.
To take out, to take out those 4 names.
Right.
Because it's very clear. So even at the point of registration, those 4 MPs elect, when they go there, they will be met with the Supreme Court order. That matter. the thing that happened on 20th December, it's been quashed. They say you see this, your names have been mentioned, that your elections have been quashed.
That's
so
where the
please,
confusion
you
starts.
cannot. No, but it's very clear. So
No,
at the point, so let's do this. At the point of registration, they will be met with the court order that the Supreme Court said what happened on the 20th of December, where these 4 candidates were now declared, etc., has been quashed. So you cannot register. So if anything at all, maybe the confusion, if any, I don't agree, would rather affect it be bright and cold, honorable, the original results, because you didn't get, when I say you, because you represent it be bright and this is
fine.
Yes. It be bright didn't get gazetted. So if she goes there, then they say, oh, madam, your name is not in the list of 274 MP select that was presented. So she may also not be able to register, but we know eventually it's going in her direction. So she will just be patient. But so far, those whose names were in there, but the Supreme Court has quashed, they can't register. They can't run under any technicality that, oh, there's no consequential order that their names be removed, so they will register. No. The simple thing is that when and where were you declared winner of those constituencies? You will say, then say, are you aware of a Supreme Court decision saying that these results, the subsequent recollection and which resulted in your declaration has been quashed? If you are, that's cancelled simply, instead of quash, say cancelled. The Supreme Court has cancelled it. So if it's been cancelled, how do you register? You can't be registered. And if you've registered, your name will be struck off.
I see.
Okay.
So the gazetted.
What I'm saying is that sometimes when you give rulings that supposedly hang, that's where you pick one reasoning against the other. But when we are coming from Supreme Court, we should be clear in our mind that this is it.
But if what
I'm saying.
What much people saying is anything go by, I get the point that the gazetted results can be varied even without a consequential order.
Absolutely.
These could be presumptions.
Essentially.
Yeah. But presumptions, as we all know, are rebuttable. So that is where I'm saying that nothing stops you. They said they have given it to you. Put a seal on it as having been given to me. What wrong would you have done? So, and we have experienced this many times, where we have decisions that also call for further interpretation. Right. But the right approach is seek the consequential orders, so that in the case of my good friend from Asin South, Asin North, or Asin Central,
that Jackie James Atukwesin.
Asin North.
Yes. There was an injunction served on Parliament, and the clerk then sitting in the chair said that, yes, I've been served. And he was reminded by the NPP advocate, right? So there and then I said, so pursuant to the acceptance of the service, push for consequential orders. Because I have been served with this, you cannot be part of the chamber today. But he didn't push for it. And then there was this argument of you have to stay out, you have to stay in, and that resulted in this unnecessary theater. So what I'm saying is that to make matters clear and clean, you do the consequentials and you say, Mr. Martin, don't go and do this. Mr. Kesi, don't do that. Kwaku, do this. And then we are clear from the Supreme Court. We don't come and continue the argument.
Right.
This is what I'm saying. So let's take it as an advice. In future, if you go, ask for all that you are due.
Okay.
And let the court make the pronouncement.
So it's just in the spirit of clarity, not necessarily to say that without it, the gazetted results cannot be varied. I think that's the point of clarity you want to put out. I think it's quite clear.
What I'm also suggesting is that when it is clear that don't do this, and you do, then the consequential application for contempt is clean.
Right. I want to bring Professor Jampo back.
Let me make a quick point.
Yes.
I think we are arguing over nothing really.
Which is what?
Which is that the Supreme Court has made certain pronouncements. Automaticity of law. So what has been gazetted is an administrative exercise in compliance with a statutory requirement. It can be reversed. Gazetting means you must gazette the proper names. So if the Supreme Court says Now, you gazetted in pursuance of the second declaration, but now the status quo ante before Friday should be maintained. Then the people originally declared is whose names you have to gazette. It's that simple. Until otherwise. So
it's not simple.
It is that simple.
Okay,
because when you get to that point also, you will say that certain pink sheets had not been considered.
Now,
so
hold on, Andy. I think you are missing the point. The people at the time they went to court as they claim that they are victims, isn't it? They were not declared candidates.
So are they to be deemed now, based on this order of the Supreme Court, as MPs elect?
No,
they fall.
No, yes, the 4 are MPs elect. I mean, these applications before the court said that they have been wrongly declared. So the proper thing must be done. That's the essence of the expert application they took to court on Friday.
Okay, but considering that their names are not in the gazetted results of the Electoral Commission now,
yes,
what measures do you intend to take to correct that? Because even though there appears to be enough time, there appears to be enough time for the High Court to deal with it, because 31st December, Tuesday, even if the case is going to be adjourned and not, it could be concluded on that same day. But even if it is not, you probably go to 2nd January. And we are having the swearing in of this 9th Parliament on the 7th of January. The Gazette result as it stands now does not have your 4 MPs.
Let me clarify.
How do you intend to do that?
In the 2004 elections, the 2004 elections, parliamentary and presidential, President Kufuor's second term elections, do you know when he was gazetted? 6 months to the end of his term. So the Gazette notification is not material to the validity of an election. It is not. It's an administrative directive required in law that when candidates emerge victorious from public elections, you gazette their names. If not doing so, it's an administrative thing. It's easy that can be punished by somebody who is interested. But it does not invalidate. And you see, Parliament doesn't work in vacuum. Parliament is part of the system. They are aware of what has happened.
Right.
So they will take steps to regularize. So it's immaterial. When Supreme Court makes pronouncement, you remember that just 3 weeks ago, we were here in respect of what the Supreme Court said regarding whether or not those 4 members of Parliament has vacated their seats or not. People say automaticity of law, that Parliament doesn't need to do anything, that the law applies automatically. Then we said, no, Parliament is an organ, it's an entity. There are public officers who must be directed, and therefore they ought to be directed properly by the Supreme Court for them to take certain specific actions. I mentioned the marshal.
Yes. You're not saying what I'm saying.
Yes, but I'm saying that
in a different context.
No, yes, in a different context. So I'm saying that when the Supreme Court makes pronouncement like that, Parliament is listening.
Right.
And I'm sure that they will take steps to regularize what has been.
Professor Jampo, please.
Because those of you in the classroom,
this also borders on governance.
Those of you in the classroom, let the students also understand that don't create confusion after an attempt to solve confusion.
Right. The more things change, the more they remain the same.
So when you go to court and when you are before your father, when you are even praying, pray for all that you require. And don't pray for half and expect somebody else to come from somewhere to give you the other half.
Right. For example, please.
And that's for the students.
You see, you have gone to bring 3 lawyers here, and they are talking law, and
we have a professor who is teaching students.
They are talking law and law. So they've taken all the time.
But to the understanding of all of us,
I should go and study law. I would never study law.
Because you are a law to yourself.
I would never study law, so that I should come.
Oh, you have a legal man. That's sufficient.
Martin will call me a genius. I will not.
All your
But honorable is junior here, but Parliament and Constitution, you can educate me.
So we will call you.
I will not study law.
You are not work for me. No, but you have a legal mind. Okay. No,
he has a legal mind. Indeed.
But no, if he's not, his opinions will not carry weight.
Oh, please. Who wrote the Constitution that you interpret? Ghana Bar Association didn't but let me make my point. You see, I don't want to talk about it. I want to talk about
it. You continue to be my junior because you came to meet me in Lagos.
Now you have got it.
When I was as a president, I see.
interesting.
I won't talk about the law, but I want to talk about the conduct of the High Court judge. Okay, the conduct of the High Court judge. I'm wondering when he was appointed, who appointed him? I mean, some of the issues that I had been discussed at the Supreme Court. I mean, I'm not a lawyer, but I kept wondering about how can a judge behave like this? Why won't you give people a fair hearing? And then why will you want to have your judgment overturned in this manner? Why would you want the Supreme Court to direct you or to let you to expose a certain incompetence, on your part? And I think that that judge, if he did this purely for partisan reasons, then he should bow down his head in shame. Because if the matter is about also the NDC and they want to join, they want to show you evidence, they want to show you proofs.
Midamasi, some daily update TV.